tell me not to worry. It's just another dream, another highway, yeah. But I'm not afraid of this madness, sadness. Cause I can get away. She is my me to the end. No, I know she that's the band, but I'm not letting go. Cause she's freedom, and cause freedom is a highway. I'm still riding, yeah. I'm still riding. I'm still riding. I'm still riding.
Y'all are on the East Van Dan Shit Show. Please welcome
Arthur Suresh, bass player for Burnt. Josh Jergy, trumpet and keys.
Fuck yeah, welcome boys.
Thank you.
To the terminal. I've had my fair share of fun times down here. Trying to tit fuck skanks in the bathroom, doing all sorts of outlandish shit. So, bass guy, tell us, who you're on?
Yeah, we're doing a little run right now. We flew up on Thursday, oddly enough, via Calgary. We kind of went in a circle to get to Vic. Typically, like, you get the direct flight, which will at least stop in Vancouver or in Seattle, but we ended up doing the roundabout way of getting here. But we made it. We made it in on Thursday, got our first rehearsal in that night, and then played yesterday at Centennial Square in Victoria. Great show.
Yeah.
Good turnout. It was a free show, actually, which is nice. It's kind of cool to see that type of vibe up here. You don't really get that much in the States, where you have a community and like a scene to where like people are down and will come and will be a part of it regardless. So it was actually pretty fun to play for all you folks. Then tonight we're playing for Terminal, so hopefully people come through. It should be a fun show also. And then tomorrow we're playing in Vic, but at our buddy's wedding, our buddy Darcy. And a lot of these shows are centric around that wedding. So once we got that going, we made sure we had other stuff booked around to make it a nice little run for us. And then we're going to end up flying back on Monday to go back to our regular day-to-day day jobs and shit when we're back in the States.
Yeah. So you guys are from Cali?
Yeah.
Nice. When did Burnt form?
So Burnt has been around now for well over 20 years. I know it's been there for longer. When I actually first joined the band, I met our singer Danny and our drummer Rob in college. We all went to UC San Diego. They had an open mic that they were hosting. And one of these days I went down to we had a pub on campus. So I went down to the pub and I asked them, like, is there an open mic? Because word of mouth, they went around, I played some other gigs and they're like, hey, you should check this out. And so they're like, yeah, we have an open mic, you should come through. And so I went to my dorm, brought my bass, brought my amp, went down there, and the rest is history. I've been playing with these guys for well over 20 years, off and on, but yeah, mostly on and off, I guess.
And so is this your first, guys' first time to Canada?
Oh no.
No?
We've been here multiple times.
Oh really?
There was a period between 2009 and 2019 where I was in a different band. So I know they came up at a different bass player at the time. It was Danny's cousin, Primo, Matt. And so they came up in 2009. They played Vic, they played, I believe, Nanaimo, they went to Lasqueti, and they came up here multiple times. The first time I actually came up here to play was in 2018 or 2019. And we did Victoria and Lasqueti. And then right after the pandemic, maybe a couple of years after the pandemic, we came up again. We played on Lasqueti, we played in Nanaimo, and we played in Victoria proper as well. So Canada's been great to us, great scene. Everyone's very kind and very nice and very appreciative.
We try.
Yeah, but no, it's
Most of the time.
It's very refreshing though, because everyone's very appreciative of it and appreciative of the music, and it's good to see people enjoy it. So yeah, it's not our first rodeo up here.
No. So like that we talking about that period. So like 2018, 2019, you guys came up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like that's kind of 2019. That's like kind of close to like around the time things started getting a little bit safe to say fucked up.
Yeah, pretty much right before someone sneezed and the entire world closed. No, it was fun to get to come up here. I mean, that was my first time up here playing,
Yeah.
and so I had a good time. So the opener for tonight, so Angelica, she's actually singing in our with us with Burnt as well. Her band is playing tonight. It was her birthday. I don't know the music in the background. It's what it is. But no,
Hey, keep it down.
it was her birthday. I believe it was her birthday and like a Halloween around the same time. So we did a Halloween gig in Mesquite, and so that was my first time playing. God damn it. Anyway.
Yeah, no, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, it was my first time actually coming up and playing up in that area, in that zone. It was like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so like we were planning to do more and more with it until the pandemic, but from the pandemic, we actually ended up recording an album. It was Reaching for the Sun was the name of it, and it was completely done remotely because we couldn't get together. So each individual with whatever was written would send to each person. Like I would send to me, I'd record my bass part, send it back. Danny would do his guitars and vocals, Rob would do drums, and then Jamal was unable to come on this trip. He's our sax player. He actually would take it, produce it, mix it, and do all those things, as well as we have certain tracks that had an MC on it, Karmic Bases, KB, and he would do his parts and do it as well. So that whole album is 2.5 hours of music. It's streaming on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all of it. And we released that in 2020. It was kind of a window of to what was going on during that time and the sentiments and the feelings that we all had. So it was a nice thing to put out there. And then fast forward another year or two, we ended up coming up here, right? So about 2022, we did the run where we played Mesquite and Nanaimo. We also played in Vic. At that time, though, too, because of post-pandemic, we had to submit our vaccination cards and all that type of stuff. So it was very different. Like having to get used to that was interesting. And my dumbass was the one where I landed, and that was one that was randomly selected to test myself. So that was kind of a weird thing. But otherwise, it was still a fun trip, fun journey.
They thought you looked sick.
Oh no, they just randomly selected the irony and the funniest shit with that too is that within 2 or 3 days of us being up here is where they lifted all that random testing and everything. So I just happened to be like the last one to be able to do it. So it's weird, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, new song.
Yes.
Soul
Connector.
Yeah. Where do you guys record that?
So we recorded that in Point Arena, so Northern California, like Mendocino Coast, at a farm called Oz Farm, completely off the grid. We actually had to walk across a river with all of our gear on like a handmade bridge. I think Rob made the bridge, if I'm not mistaken.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I think Rob was our drummer. I think was the one that made the bridge.
It was sketchy though, especially it was like heavier equipment and stuff coming through. And I mean, we had to bring everything: the board, all the mics, generator. Mostly it was solar powered. That's how the album got its name. It was the Soul Connector. And if you look at the album art, it's like the sun. And there's this little robot that's kind of our mascot, Robbie Jr. And then it's connecting the sun to these like pumpkins, right?
Yeah.
The pumpkins signify like these geodesic domes that we actually recorded in, and you can like go on our IG and see a lot of pictures of the spot where we recorded. It was really a magical spot. Like, I mean, that it was a rare situation. I feel like where the studio where we recorded made the album almost as much as the musicians did. You know, it was just a really inspirational space for us.
Yeah. So like. That's a good point about the environment, like, you know, being in a particular place, like influencing the recording process. Well, not just the music, but the recording process. And in the past, me personally, I've been in the most chaotic environments. Little accountability here, my own actions, but actually I'm getting back into the studio next month for recording.
Cool.
Yeah. Lots of stuff to.
What's your choice of music, man? What do you like to play?
I don't label myself to a particular genre. I like a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
guess one metal I haven't really dived into like make. I've written some, haven't recorded, haven't performed any. Maybe one day, but from now on, what I like in the moment, how I feel.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that period of like 10, there was a period of 10 years, like I said, was off and on with the band. I played in a metal band.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I played in a metal band in LA. I'm from LA. And so we did all the shows and venues and like off Sunset and all that type of stuff. It was more like 90s style metal. So Pantera, Lamb of God, Primus, to play 6-string. So yeah, there was a period of time where I was doing that too. So like if that's something you want to do, you should totally do it. It's a very visceral type of music. So it doesn't hurt to do it to make you feel better.
I've only been to California twice.
Uh-huh.
Both times sucked,
Mm-hmm.
but hoping the third time.
Well, where'd you go? It all depends on where you went.
It was during a fucking chaotic era of my life. Just straight alcoholism. But no, the second time I was with a shitty broad, and the first time I was with my dad. But I was like, kids, so like, what do I know about this?
Well, I mean, it was more of the circumstance as opposed to the state. You should come on your own now, and like things have kind of like calmed down for you. And don't be disappointed, man.
I
you have a
plan
good time.
to,
Yeah.
but not till next August.
There you go, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Probably a good plan.
If you happen to be passing through Vancouver, BC, please stop by Whiskey 6 Barbecue. Hands down, #1 ribs ever. That's Whiskey 6 Barbecue, located in Vancouver, BC. Be there or be square, baby.
I do this thing once in a while. Change the interview process up a little bit. I reached out to a couple different musician buddies of mine. And I'm just like, hey, I'm interviewing a bass player, a guitar player, like whatever. Give me like 3 random questions that I should ask
Okay.
to get different opinions. However, no one has gone back.
Okay.
Hold on real quick.
He's probably gonna line check his shit.
That's okay. We'll continue.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He comes back, I'll give it to him if you're gonna do like any random questions.
Make
And
sure
your
my
bandmate's back.
had to make
Yeah.
sure my keys were getting checked
Yeah,
correctly.
exactly.
Yeah, so I got a few questions here off the top of my head.
Okay.
I could be spontaneous in the moment, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you played in how many bands in the past?
Well, I played in multiple. I mean, I currently am in 4 bands.
Oh God.
So between Burnt, I play in Burnt. I play in another band called Rhythm Tribe in LA. It's a Latin fusion band. I play in a jazz group called Fat Cat, which is also in LA. And another band I play is more like a hiatus right now. It was Ian Abel band, and it's more country, southern rock type of band.
Nice.
But I'm a jazz trained musician. I do sessions. I've been playing now for 26 years. I've been playing bass for 26 years now.
So mean upright player too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into music? Like, what was that moment? Can you remember that moment? I can remember my moment.
I can. So
Okay.
I actually started playing piano. So I started on piano when I was 8 years old, classically trained. What got me into playing bass, I started playing bass when I was 13 and like wanting all that type of stuff was like, I listened, actually the funny thing what got me into bass is a funny story. 8 years old, watching Beavis and Butthead, and they had a music video for My Name is Mud by Primus. And that really was like, I want to play that. Like I've been a big Primus fan, still am a big Primus fan, hence I play 6-string bass, fretless 6-string, all of that
I
stuff.
think pretty much everyone who plays an instrument is a Primus fan.
Yeah. So if anything, that got me into it. But then on the other side of the coin too, like for me as a person, like I know I'm talking a lot now, but I'm not much of a talker. So like for me to truly express myself, like for me to truly express myself, that was like my means of expression, right? That's why I like playing music. That was my ability to be able to take care of my own issues by doing that, as well as being able to emote and be able to share whatever I'm feeling with people. So took up into music.
I don't know if I ever told you this, Karthik, but this is an interesting flex from me. So, Primus is from El Sobrante, right? It's a town called El Sobrante, which is in the East San Francisco Bay Area. There's a couple of other bands that are from there, or just that immediate vicinity there, within a few miles. You might have heard of. One's called Metallica. One's called Green Day. For my money, I think Primus is probably the best of the three. My father was a bit of a musician as well, and he was also a bass player. And once upon a time, at least according to him, Primus opened for my dad's band.
Oh, what?
So he had Les Claypool playing bass in a band before he went up and played bass. Which is like nutty. It's just nutty. So, yeah, Karthik and I are from different parts of California. It might seem like it's so far away that it's probably just this, like the size of Vancouver Island or something, but it's freaking massive. Like I have to drive 8 hours to go see Karthik. And I'm kind of not even in the real extremely northern part, and he's not even really in the extreme southern part either. So it's a massive state.
Yeah. So how did you get into the band?
My story is different. I'm definitely the newbie in the band. I'm the new guy. But I've been knowing Rob, who's our drummer, for probably 20 years. I used to play in this band called the Debonaires. They're from Southern California. I was living in San Diego from 98 through 02, and that 99 through 02 I was playing with the Debonaires, and Rob was our percussionist briefly. But when they started Burns, I had another band in Northern California, and we did some shows together and stuff. Rob actually started bugging me in about 2010 to like join the band, right? So we were all living in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it was really intriguing to me, but I was either just busy with this or that, or for one reason or another, I just kind of like, whatever, right? But finally, a couple of years ago, they they convinced me to come, and we were getting ready to do this festival, and we went up to Rob's house. Rob lives on a hill on a property that, it's got well water, it's got solar power, it's got septic, it's like kind of out in the cut, a little kind of country.
It's like it's off the grid.
Yeah, it's about as country as you get on the California coast. And we all just camped out and drank beers and played music. And I had to learn, like, these guys have like 10 or 12 albums or something. And I had to learn like 80 or 90 songs. And I'm a horn player by trade, I'm a trumpet player. But I was really motivated to come and play keys with this group. And so I'm really this is my first time really working on my keyboard sound and matching with the band and stuff and just learning all these songs. It was just like one of the most invigorating few days of my whole musical life, right? I just loved it. I loved the songs. Danny, our lead singer, he writes the most beautiful songs, just great lyrics, great singer. So I really started loving the music, and I absolutely love the guys. And it feels like I've been in the band for a lot longer than I have. Mostly, obviously, because I've known most of these cats for decades. But talking about coming up to Canada, I don't want to ramble on too long, but I did the 4th annual Ska Fest, and they just did the 25th. So the Victoria Ska and Reggae Society, those guys provided an amazing service for this island, where they really go out and get bands to come up here, and the Canadian government, say what you want about them, but they managed to fund a lot of these shows. Like the show we did yesterday was a free outdoor show. It was like, I believe that was City of Victoria that funded that one. But these Ska Fest guys, the Ska and Reggae Society guys, they go get these grants and they go throw these shows, and they've been doing it for 25 years. And I hope that the people on this island appreciate it, because these guys are heroes, man.
Yeah, we go above and beyond.
It's just a huge contribution to the culture here. It's a live music kind of place. As a traveling touring musician who's played in 49 states, and I come up here and it's different. It's like there's more enthusiasm, there's more organization, and
Did you hear that?
It's a beautiful thing, man. So if you live on the island and you're listening to this, just be really appreciative and happy that you have that, because it's a beautiful part of the culture here in southern BC.
Well, fucking love that you guys are loving the island here. Have you guys played in Tofino?
No,
Do you know what that is?
I know what that is.
Okay,
No,
okay.
we have not.
Yeah.
We have
No,
not.
I was just wondering. You know, it's like about 2+ hour drive from there, but a beautiful place. I did a podcast with a reggae guy, Caleb Hart, a while back. He played there the night before. I was just curious.
With the other bands, I played in Cumberland and on Cortez Island.
Okay, yeah.
And those shows were rad. Those shows were, especially Cortez, man. They really know how to party over there.
Yeah.
And it's just very inclusive, and it's an uplifting vibe. And man, I have nothing but great memories coming up to Canada to play music.
Awesome.
We got to get up to Tofino sometime, though. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't do this tour, but these guys had like their own barge. One of the times they came up here, and they were going from island to island to island. They might have gone to Tofino. It's hard for me to say, but
Oh, that's right.
absolutely crazy.
So what other festivals have you guys done?
Obviously we've done like the Ska Fest.
Yeah.
I know they've done before I came back. I think it did Diversity Festival was on one of the islands.
There's that mountain one. What is it? Mountain?
Oh, just festivals in general, or festivals in Canada?
No, like festivals like this summer.
This summer.
Yeah, nothing.
So this summer we did Mountain Vibe, which is
Mountain
also in Northern California.
Okay.
And then this run right here. If anything, this summer we've been doing more individual shows as opposed to festivals. Just because our schedules were as such to where we all work. We're all big guns.
Oh yeah.
So like Danny and Ron, for example, they work for the park service, like the national parks in California. Like I know Rob had a big project he was working on this summer, so maybe we were working around that, as well as like my schedule is a little bit different because I work in healthcare in California. I manage a few departments at a hospital, so I had some changes I had to do with that as well. So if anything, like this summer was more of like a few strategically placed shows versus like a lot of them like we've done in the past, but it still was fun. We still were able to get ourselves in. We were still able to get up here. So even though we're only here for 5 days, we were able to get three shows in that 5-day span.
And a rehearsal.
So it actually worked itself out.
Out of all instruments, what is your favorite?
Out of all the instruments,
Bass.
you know, bass player, right?
Yeah. So you consider yourself foremost a bass player?
Oh yeah. I've been, like I said, I played piano before, but as like a bassist, like I play electric, I play upright. I've been playing, like I said, I've been playing electric now for 20, I always do the math in my head, 26 years, then upright for 23 years. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it's been my bread and butter for the longest time.
Cool. Well, boys, now we're gonna cut in here pretty quick here. What do you want to plug? You guys got an album?
Yeah, Soul Connector. It's on all the streaming services: Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora,
Bandcamp?
We're on Bandcamp, Burnt Music. Check it out. There's merch on that as well. Merch link, hats, record. Our album, besides being streamed, is on vinyl.
Yeah.
So for all you audiophiles that like vinyl, we do it's a two vinyl vinyl. But yeah, we're still plugging away. We're still recording, still playing.
Yeah, check us out. Check out our socials. Burnt Band on Instagram.
Yeah, at Burnt Band.
I'll post it. I'll fucking put it in the YouTube.
Right on, man. And then yeah, we put a lot of our music kind of on there, and some of our art and our gigs and stuff like that. You know, it's burnt. It's a flavor.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, boys.